see, we're here once again bringing you another installment of our Photoshop frame animations. Today we're going to use the scale technique to take our mascot, our Indian head, and scale it and rotate it. So there's a couple things you need to do first. One, you need to download from my website the Indian head. So you go to Mr. C's website, go over to Computer Tech. Inside Computer Tech, you click on the animated GIF files, and in this GIF files is the hidden Indian head Photoshop file. Okay, so you click the download arrow, all right, and that's going to download to your first it's going to ask you to save the file, and you're going to download it to your network drive, or it might be in your download folder, depending upon your preferences here. And let's see here. Yeah, mine downloaded to the download folder. So once you find your Indian head, let's go ahead and open that. That'll open up in Photoshop. And there we go. We have an Indian head, our logo of our Indian head. So the first thing we want to do is to create a blank layer above the image. So all we're going to do is click on the Create New Layer, and now we have this blank layer here. And I also want to turn off the background here. So I'm going to click the eye there. And in fact, I'm going to delete it. I think I can do this. Alright, so I delete that background. Perfect. So now we have the blank layer and we have the Indian head. And the next step I'm going to do is to make sure the animation timeline is on. And mine popped open, so we're good there. And the next step is to create 4 copies of the Indian head. So we're going to go Control J, Control J, Control J. So we have a total of 5, so one more. Control J. We make 4 copies, 5 total new frames. And the next step is we're going to transform this or scale this. We're going to go up to the Edit menu, and we're going to go to Transform, and then we're going to choose Scale. And in that scale, we are going to change the change that under percentage to let's see. Oh, before I change that, I'm going to cancel because I have to select the very bottom Indian head. Okay. So then we're going to edit, transform, and then choose scale. And I want to choose the chain link here because I want both the width and height to scale equally, so we're locking it together. And I want to change that to 20%. And then click the check mark. Choose the next one. And I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut, Control T, to select that layer. And again, we're going to lock that together. We're going to make that one 40%. Click OK or accept, and then select Control T. Again, lock the width and height together. This is going to be 60%. Accept that. And then finally choose the last one, or copy 3. Control T. That's the keyboard shortcut for transform. And we're going to go 80% here and hit the check mark. So you can see we go from a large Indian head at 100% all the way down to the scaled version at 20%. Alright, so now we're going to make frames from layers. So again, if you don't have the timeline open, you go up to the Windows menu and you make sure timeline is checked, and then you're going to be asked to choose either frame animation or video timeline. You want to choose frame animation, and the next step is to go to the palette drop down menu and choose make frames from layers. Okay, so now we have all of the frames. We're going to have a very small Indian head getting bigger, 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 and then we have a blank Indian head. So we want to click on that 5th Indian head, 6th Indian head, or 6th, the blank one, and now we're going to use the tween. Now we are going to select previous frame, and we're going to make 5 new layers. So what we're doing here is creating a fade out, a fading effect, getting lighter, lighter, lighter until it disappears. Okay, so now we're not going to set any of the timings. We're going to leave it at 0 and play the animation. There we go. Alright, so leave all the animation frames at 0, change to forever so it keeps rippling and fading out, and let's do a file save. No, just save as, because if you remember right, we downloaded this into our downloads folder. You want to go to your computer, go to your network drive, and then find computer tech folder and your Photoshop folder, and we'll leave it right as Indian head, and we'll click save, click OK, and then we finally do a save for web. And again, we had this conversation about the blizzard. You can leave it at 128 or choose 32, it doesn't really matter. And you click save, and again we'll call that Indian head. Again, it should be in the Photoshop folder, and it is. Click save there, and that's a quick tutorial on making using the scale function and fading function. So a couple new techniques that you can look up there and apply to your website. So again, if you need any help, be sure to ask during class, or you can come in before school, after school, during your study halls, or during advisory, and I'll be glad to help you with anything that you need. So until then, this is Mr. C signing off with an animation tutorial on Photoshop.